Hello and welcome to the SheerLuxe Show. I'm Olivia Wayne and I'm super excited to be back in the hot seat with some seriously fab content, from fashion to relationships, a new skincare brand to know, an amazing home tour, plus some culture thrown in. There really is something for everyone this week. To help with that transition into the new season, the super stylish Jessica Skye is showing the 5 staples we should all have in our autumn-winter wardrobes. We have a sneak peek into the stunning home of interior designer Emma Sims Hilditch. We chat through relationship red flags with psychotherapist Clare Faulkner, plus revered beauty journalist Georgia Day is here with a review of a new skincare brand you are going to love. Plus, Heather is back with her roundup of what is hot this month. I told you it was a goodie. So first, it's fashion with Jessica Skye.
Absolutely love a stripy jumper, whether it's in summer or winter. Obviously through the summer months I'll go for something that's a little bit more lightweight, but this winter I've gone for something that's really quite oversized and chunky, and it has really lovely slits down the side, so it feels quite open and quite boxy and relaxed. I always tend to keep the roll neck sort of up and a bit loose as opposed to rolling it down. And I've teamed it with my favorite black leather trousers from ASOS, some Converse to keep it super cash, and my Bottega Veneta bag. Everybody needs an oversized black blazer in their wardrobes. I feel like it works season on season, so I wear this throughout the summer and I'll definitely be wearing it more throughout the winter. This is definitely an item that works incredibly hard in my wardrobe. I feel like it just goes with absolutely everything. You can dress it up or completely strip it back down for a more casual look. It is from Arket, and I've actually sized up twice with this to give it a really relaxed feel. And I've teamed it with an Annie Bing oversized t-shirt. It's like a really nice fade to it as well. My ASOS jeans with the rips in, and teamed it with some kitten heels from By Far, and the bag is also By Far. I feel like this is like a really good outfit for drinks or casual dinners. You've got the relaxed jeans and the t-shirt, but you've kind of made it a bit more elevated with the blazer and small heels. So a leather jacket is definitely key in my autumn wardrobe. I feel like they give a real effortless look, because I think that's what my style's about, definitely just looking put together but still casual. I think that's just how I feel comfortable. I know I'm gonna love the item if I'm able to sort of dress it down. This leather jacket is from All Saints and I've had it for years. I think the key is, if you want to invest in a leather jacket, try and go for a style that is not going to date. So I would say this style of jacket has been around for years and years, hence why I still get it out year on year. But I've teamed it with a Zara stripy Breton top, which I love. And again, my ASOS ripped jeans, my Axel Arigato trainers, and my black Loewe bag. And I think it's just the perfect weekend look. A trench coat is the ultimate autumn staple, and I think everybody needs one in their wardrobe. And I think the key is to try and buy items that you know that could carry on season. So if they're items like a trench coat or a leather jacket or some shoes or a bag, just things that you can team with other items in your wardrobe so you can really maximize the use out of them. So this trench coat is from ASOS. I absolutely love it. I'm wearing a size 10. It has a really lovely check detailing on the back. And I've teamed it with the bright orange, almost neon orange, cashmere jumper from Zara. And again, I'm wearing some A-Gold jeans. Really, they are the most incredible jeanswear brand ever. I absolutely love them. I've completely fallen for them. It's just so difficult to find jeans that kind of fit everywhere you want them to. And for me, they do. So they're definitely my go-to. And I've got on my Adidas Oswegos in white. I also have these in black. They're really comfortable trainers. They're not as chunky as the Axel Arigato ones, so they're a little bit more casual. And again, my Bottega Veneta bag. And it's just a really relaxed, feel-good outfit. So lastly, and I actually think most importantly, is to have a really lovely handbag in your autumn staple wardrobe. I've gone for this white Loewe puzzle bag. It's incredibly versatile. It goes with everything. I did buy it in the summer, but I'm so ready to use it and work it with my autumn wardrobe. So I've teamed this with an H&M tank top. It's just a very basic one, a warehouse oversized shirt, COS trousers and a COS belt. And I think we could still get a little bit more wear out of our sandals. And these are from ASOS.
Thanks so much, Jessica. I feel really inspired to shop my own wardrobe now before I buy anything new. Next up, longtime beauty journalist and SL columnist Georgia Day sat down with the founder of WHIND, a brand that has been hailed as one of the best new beauty to hit the shelves in recent months. She finds out what exactly makes these products stand out.
Nowadays, we're always on a mission to find skincare that really works, and that's why I'm so pleased today to be joined by Hind Sebti, founder of brand to know WHIND. The range uses the power of modern science and high-performance actives to create seriously effective formulas that leave only the lightest footprint on the world. Welcome, Hind. It's so lovely to have you here today.
Thank you, Georgia. It's so lovely to be here today.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this beautiful skincare? Because I know the philosophy behind the brand is evocatively potent skincare. Is that right?
Yes. So, I mean, the story of the brand is really intertwined with mine. I've been in the beauty industry for 20 years and I have enjoyed working on some of the most wonderful skincare brands. But as you know, time has passed, I started noticing there was a lot of very good skincare brand with very interesting, active, high-performance products, but I was missing a bit of the sensoriality and a bit of the experience that I'm used to from being Moroccan, having grown up in Morocco, which is a beautiful country full of sensoriality. So I started thinking about what do we need to compromise performance for experience, and what about bringing these two together, the high performance that is very science-led that I learned through my experience that is needed for products that work, but also marry it with an amazing experience, texture, sensoriality. First, because I think it just makes us feel good, but also because we know, in skincare, that the products that work are the products that you actually use every day. And for consumers to want to use a product every day, they need to enjoy them. So if you give me a high performance product in an amazing texture and fragrance that I'm going to use every day, I will see even more results. So that was the birth of WHIND.
And I think especially in the last kind of 18 months that we've all had, for me, these products are really kind of about that kind of slow, mindful sort of beauty ritual, which I think is now more important than ever.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's what you were striving to create.
Yeah, and I think this is what I missed. Again, exactly living through that time has made it even more present for me because like I said, I grew up in Morocco. My family still lives there. I miss it most of the time. And I think when I think back on beauty rituals, I remember my grandmother, when she's using a product, regardless of what that might be, she always spent 10 minutes using it. Yeah. And I think because in her mind, there's no such thing as, quote unquote, slap and go. If you are doing something for you, you take the time to do it well and enjoy it, because it's this inside out happiness that I think for me is that gives us the best glow.
Yeah. Let's start at the beginning of the routine. This is the Oasis Fresh Dissolving Jelly Cleanser. Now, tell us a little bit about this and why this is so special, because I'm really fussy about cleansers and I love this.
This cleanser that comes in this jelly texture is really about the indulgence of a balm. So it comes in this, all infused jelly textures that immediately melts into, or lathers rather, into a milk when in contact with water. So it's as rich as a balm, but also as effective and easy to remove as a gel cleanser. You could almost forget to moisturize.
It feels incredibly hydrating, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's move on then to the next step in the routine, and this is the next product we have, which is the Oasis Veil Reviving Glow Mist. Now, I love this because earlier you described it as being like a serum on the go. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yes, because when we were designing this, what we wanted it to be is more than just like a spray of, water. It needed to be packed with actives. We call it the Reviving Glow Mist because it basically revives your radiance, it refreshes your skin, and also hydrates. It's, it's a very ultra fine mist, as you can see, that I can spray endlessly. I use it between the skincare steps to kind of always have this dewy base, and also on the go, underneath makeup, over makeup, gives you a bit of this mood boost as well, and as kind of a boost for your skin.
Lovely. And then next we have the day cream, which is this one here. Tell us a little bit about why that's so special.
So we designed this cream, which is a water cream that has this amazing technology, which is encapsulated hydration technology that bursts as soon as you put it on your skin, binds and locks moisture, and kind of makes it last all day. It's really instant, weightless, long-lasting hydration, and I like to say for dewy, petal soft skin, because that's the inspiration behind it.
And so tell me about the kind of skin types that this is going to work for. I'm guessing people with oily skin as much as anybody with sort of normal combination skin.
Exactly, so it works for all skin types, but especially for people who are looking for oil-free, because it gives you that hydration and nourishment, but without the stickiness, because it sinks super fast. It's perfect under makeup, and it gives you kind of a boost of glow without the greasiness or the stickiness.
And that rosewater smell is
I
like
love
Morocco in a jar.
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
And then let's move on to the night cream, which is this one here, right?
Yes.
This is the Casbar. Oh, these names are so amazing. The Casbar Moonlight Transforming Cream to Oil Nightly Mask. So this is kind of a mask and a moisturizer.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to put something on my skin before going to bed that's going to interfere with my sleep.
Or end up on the pillowcase,
or end up on the pillowcase, or smell a bit funny. This delicious sensorial cream to oil texture that immediately transforms to a lightweight oil on the skin.
Yeah, it's very lightweight,
super
isn't it?
fast. Yes, and it's pillow proof. And what it does is not only it nourishes, but also renews your skin. So you wake up to a more rejuvenated and what I like to call moonlit skin, because you have a bit of that glow. And the technology there is, again, another tailored complex of botanical oil, glycerin, that really punch in the nourishment, as well as argan oil, which is called it's very Moroccan, and it's called the nature's liquid gold, and just kind of helps with the cell renewal and antioxidants to undo the damage of the day. So it's a night mask that works with your sleep cycle to give you that glow, kind of refreshed glow by morning.
And then lastly, we have this product, which I just adore. I'm a huge fan of oils anyway. This is the Marrakesh Light Illuminating Magic Oil. I love this because in the winter I can get a little bit kind of drier, a little bit kind of flaky around my nose and mouth. And if I just need a little bit of extra nourishment, this is the kind of product I would reach for. So tell us a bit about this, because I think the name of it is so captivating.
It's a lightweight oil, because you use oil, but most people who do not like oil are worried that they're going to clog their pores, be heavy. So this oil is super fast absorbing. It gives you the nourishment, it gives you a glow, and you could use it by day, you could use it by night. I use it as a highlighter sometimes on my cheekbones and eyelids and so on, and even hair, because it has argan oil, prickly pear oil, some oils that are also very, very good for the hair as well as for the skin.
That was really fascinating. I'm so excited for everybody to try these products, because they are just beautiful and truly sensorial. If you want to find out more about them, you can check them out at www.uk.wind.com.
Now, we all love a good nosy in other people's homes, and few are as stylish as that of Emma Sims Hilditch, founder of Sims Hilditch Design Studio, and a name to know in the Sunday Times and House & Garden top 30 interior designers. Here's her exclusive tour around her favourite rooms.
Hi
SheerLuxe, and welcome to our home here in London. And I am delighted to be able to give you a tour of the house. I want to show you how we use it both as a family home for us and our 3 children, and also as a place where we can bring clients and we can show people how we create homes for them. I hope you enjoy the tour. So I thought I'd start the tour by showing you the kitchen, which is the most important room in the house for all of us here. And it's a space where we all meet and gather as a family. And also we have fantastic meetings with our clients around this kitchen table over here. So we designed this space very much as an extension to what is actually a very small Victorian house. For us now, we have maximised the space. We've created 4 really good sized double bedrooms and bathrooms as well, ensuite. So I'm going to show you how we've done that in what is actually quite a confined space, approximately 2,000 square feet. This room in the house has what we really wanted to achieve, which was great light from 2 roof lights that we put in, and this fantastic Crittall screen which opens out onto our garden. And this extension we built on. Whilst doing that, we also made a conscious effort to raise the ceiling height in here, because it had a small extension when we bought the house, and we decided we needed to extend that, and at the same time we decided to build a basement. So although it may seem strange in a house in London to have an Aga, for me personally, I have grown up with Argas all my life, and for me I just find that they are a real sense of home and they welcome you back. If you want to use it, you can turn the power on and just have it on what's called slumber mode, and then if you want to use it, you just click the buttons for the ones that you want to use, and the lights will start flashing until they're heated up and ready. We've then got an island, and I think islands are such a sociable part of the kitchen. You can see the bar stools around that side, and then round here is the kind of working side of the kitchen. And up here we have fabulous large cupboard, fridge space and freezer below, and in the larder is plenty of room for all the dry ingredients, which we love to use and love to cook with. Over here we have our sort of tea and coffee station, and I love this space because it's great for anyone who wants to just come over, pick out their tea, choose their tea bag, and more importantly get their coffee capsule out as well from this drawer here. There's the coffee machine, mugs are here, and then for your tea you just go over there to the boiling water tap. That tap is a cooker, and it does boiling water, sparkling water and cold filtered water. In this dresser we decided to, I really love the feel of having some marble on the back here, and I decided to tile the back part of the dresser cabinet, which is something we hadn't done before, but I feel like it worked very well, and I love that kind of almost like a restaurant feel there. In this drawer we also have our power drawer, which we have plugged in. We connected the cables for the iPhone and the iPad, and so you can sit your device in here, and it means that when you've got people staying, or when you've got the family or kids around, you can just all put your devices away at night and have them not by your bedside. We try and encourage that. This is actually an antique Mora clock, and they come from Sweden, and I'd always wanted one, and eventually I found the right place for her. She's actually a female clock, and they have wonderful characters and personalities to them, and I think they add that real rustic charm to what is, I guess, quite a contemporary space. I think it's really nice to have a sofa in a kitchen, if you've got the space. It doesn't have to be a very big one, but I do think, you know, having somewhere where you can socialise, where friends can sit while you're cooking, it just gives that really nice, and also it gives a sort of soft dimension with the upholstery. So yeah, that is a very favourite spot for people to sit. And then we chose to have a bench on this side so that we could put lots of people on this table if we wanted to. So I think we can seat about 14 here if we cram them in. We've got a bench on that side too. We've also got storage baskets underneath, which is where we keep our garden cushions. We've also done this very nice stone floor in here, and I really wanted it to feel like it was a seamless blend between the inside stone and the outside stone. The inside stone is from Neptune, and the outside stone is a stone called Truslow, which has a very similar colour tone to it, but it's more rustic. And I think that gives a nice sort of inside-outside feel. And when the crittle doors are open and the sun's shining, it really does feel like you've got an extended kitchen space. Although it's outside, it feels like another room in the house. This rough boarding throughout the house, so we picked this idea and we've used it a lot in country properties. But I really wanted to have that sense here that we're country people in a way, and that we love the countryside. And this was just a reminder of what we love about the country, which is the use of timber, the use of oak, and also the use of panelling. So we've taken those material palettes and we've actually run them through the house and mixed it with a bit of wallpaper too for fun. This wallpaper is one of my all-time favourites. It was designed I think about 40 or 50 years ago now, so it's got a really wonderful, slightly retro feel to it, by a lady called Martha Armitage, and I think she is an octogenarian or maybe even older, but she is still there doing her printing every day, her hand blocking of her wallpaper. So welcome to our sitting room, which is down in the basement now, and this is the room that I talked about earlier that we dug down and have achieved this really fabulous, cosy sitting room. First of all, just to talk you through the entrance and the door, we used crittle here to follow through with the same architectural detailing that we've got upstairs, and the crittle goes through to the back as well. And then we've also used this same rough boarding on the ceiling and on the two side alcoves of this sitting room, so that you get this lovely texture. And people have been known to say it feels like you're in a ski chalet. I think that's partly due to the posters on the wall. We've got a very large L-shaped sofa in here. We do, if we're socialising or entertaining, we will bring this chair up here, and we've got a stool, a little cross-leg stool over there, so then you can kind of have a more cosy sitting environment. So welcome to the smallest room in the house, a very, very compact laundry room that we designed, but it is very functional and it does fit everything in, and it's got fabulous floor. So in here we have the washing machine and the dryer. So the tumble dryer is stacked on top of the washing machine in this cupboard, which is good space saving. And then this side is the linen cupboard, and very organised. We've got our little labels which we put on to tell everybody what goes where, which sheets. And then a very nice set of baskets where the dirty or clean laundry goes. That baskets, and a shelf and my favourite taps. So welcome to our basement bedroom, and this room is set below ground level. We do get the light well there, so the light does come through. And in a bedroom where you have got that slightly sort of darker underground feel, I always think don't paint the room white. Actually embrace the fact that you've got this subterranean feel, and make it cosy and make it warm. And we've done that through the wall panelling again, and this lovely linen textured wall covering. Yellow is one of my favourite colours, and a yellow armchair next to the bathtub here in the window is a great way to add a bit of colour. So welcome to our master bedroom here in our house in London, and you'll see here that we've used a very bold wallpaper. It's all about the scale here, but we've still managed to achieve this very soft colour palette, which is something that I always like to have in a bedroom, because I think it makes you sleep better at night when you're not sort of surrounded by too vibrant colours. So yes, we've kept this lovely sort of grey, foggy colour here, and on the paintwork of the wardrobes. And we've just used this bold fabric, which is the spoiled wallpaper, which is just a bit of fun. And they're nice wardrobes on both sides. And through the critle again, we've used the same critle that we have throughout the house. And we've put in some marble again in the bathroom, and we've just kept the palette very simple in every bedroom and every bathroom. We wanted to have this flow and feeling of creating just a more calm and a more neutral environment. So we've used shell, shingle, cobble and shale. They're the 4 paint colours, and in here we've gone for a slightly different tone, mist, just as an extra softness to this bathroom, which I love. In this bathroom we've also got mirrored cabinets which open up like that and give us good storage, and you can charge your toothbrush in there. And I think plenty of storage and good light in a bathroom is essential. And then finally I've put these curtains in just as a bit of luxury, so that you get your privacy, and it also just has that very nice floaty feel to this space. So thanks so much for joining this SheerLuxe tour of our home here in London. I hope it's given you a little insight into how this house feels. It's a very much home in London. It's a country feel to it, although we're in the city. We want to embrace nature as well and what we love most.
Now, couples therapy may still be a little taboo, but my next guest is here to make a case for it. Clare Faulkner, a psychosexual and relationship psychotherapist, is here with her advice for when and why you should consider it for your relationship. Welcome, Clare. So lovely to have you here with us. This is quite a meaty topic, and a lot of couples will be watching with great interest to hear what you have to say. I'm sure you've had a very busy year, and we're going to get to that, but let's talk first about why. Why do couples seek relationship therapy?
Well, I think it's important to firstly reassure couples about seeking therapy, that it's not the end. For many couples, there's been disturbances or, communication issues, for example, but they reach a point where they think we can't kind of go on further. Unfortunately, often couples have left it quite long before they
as a last resort.
It's a last resort. Some research has shown that it's usually 6-7 years into conflict before they seek therapy, and it can be a last chance saloon, a sort of fix us or fix them, often I hear, expecting us to be sort of little fairies that can magic away the difficulty.
Is when a couple comes to you and it's this fix us because they've left it to the last minute, is there a kind of, for you, is it obvious, or can build up of kind of lots of issues contribute to the demise of a relationship? Or do you feel like actually often it is stripping it right back, and if you can fix like the root of an issue, lots can dissipate and disappear?
I think it is a build-up. We become entrenched often in patterns that escalate, and we have more stress over the years that just compounds that. So it can be, stripping back, looking at the dynamics of why that's happening. So, for example, imago therapy, a type of couples therapy that I use, it's very much about what we bring from our past experience into the current dynamic. So we learn about love and relationships from our primary caregivers, our families of origin. And that seems to sort of show itself then in the adult relationship. But really, that's a place where we can work on some of that painful trauma from our past experience.
It makes so much sense when you say it, but I guess if you're in it, you're not willing to be like, hang on a second, but I wasn't loved well as a kid, and or whatever it is. It makes a lot of sense. So some common issues for relationship therapy. Talk us through them, because I'm sure people will be like, eek, me. Tell us.
I think communication's a big thing. When people just cannot feel that they can't be heard, or their partner can't hear them, they're not connecting. It feels like the safety has been lost, that safety and connection. Affairs are a big reason why people might seek therapy, to sort of repair the damage that may have happened. It might be the couple have decided that they do want to separate or divorce. So how might they do that in a way that best supports children, or how, the wider family? Sex is another reason. Either they're not having sex, or there's sort of difficulty in that area.
But obviously the year we've all had, or 18 months, the pressures and stresses have changed for everyone. Is it more that if a couple aren't experiencing stress in the same way, can that cause a lot of friction? So sex, I imagine some people will, they don't have the head for it. They've been homeschooling and cooking and cleaning. They might not want to, versus a partner that's desperately needing that connection. Like, is that something you can absolutely navigate back to?
Well, I think thinking about the pandemic, we have in lockdown especially lost the ways that we could cope with stress. So people might use exercise, going to the gym, seeing friends, having different parts of themselves mirrored back. Our work gives us that. But when we were in a very small space with just one or a few other people, that, for many is a pressure cooker.
It makes a lot of sense.
So we were having less sex, than ever.
So common patterns in relationships, and how can we overcome them?
So I think, in therapy, it's looking, as I mentioned earlier with the Imago work, looking at what we bring to the dynamic. So in therapy, it's much less about looking at blame, looking about, our partner is the problem, but being curious about what we bring. It's doing therapy in the presence of our partner.
Interesting.
So being really curious, because it's in that dynamic that we heal our wounding.
It's fascinating, because I guess a lot of people are open to individual therapy, and they get to go and, I guess, talk rubbish about whoever they want to make them feel better. But actually, you're kind of held more accountable when your partner's there and realize that maybe it's not about them. It's actually about you. Have you seen then in your career, is that kind of the fundamental key to potentially lots of problems in a marriage or relationship?
When we shift our perspective, rather than looking at blame or what it is that you are not doing to fill my need, but rather what is it that I bring to that dynamic, we shift the perspective. It's so important to increase that kind of positive thinking towards our partner, as opposed to being in that very critical blame state.
So if someone right now can't go see someone like yourself with their partner, is there anything they can be doing themselves to try and work through this type of thing?
So I think, really simply engaging in listening. So even to take 10 minutes at the end of the day and just to hear about your partner's day without solving, without fixing, just literally hearing, adding some validation, so that makes sense that you would be really annoyed with your boss. And then a bit of empathy, I imagine you're feeling X, Y, and Z. So just the simple process of listening, of mirroring, validating, and empathy can be useful. But just having someone sit with you and listen and not fix.
Amazing.
But it's difficult. It's simple, but it's challenging, because, as you say, we're not designed to do that.
But equally, that's kind of the work you can do on yourself. That's how you can step up in your relationship, rather than shame, blame, pain, and all those things. Okay, so the pandemic, we obviously have to mention it. How have issues changed? You did touch on it briefly, that we don't have our outlets, and obviously sex is a huge component that although there have been a lot of lockdown babies, so some couples have handled it okay. But what else have you seen?
I think now at this stage in the pandemic, there's been a lot of reflection of people reevaluating their lives, maybe reevaluating their relationships, wanting more, or wanting to change the dynamics, or to change the status quo that was before. So there are people who are wanting to separate, but also new relationships blooming.
Yes, and when people have come to you then via Zoom, I imagine, how do you navigate it when they're still in their home, and then you just log off and they're still having to live in that same space? There's no they don't get to kind of separate, think for a bit. How have you had to change how you kind of navigate your sessions as well?
Yeah, it's had its challenges working on Zoom, but in many ways we've been able to reach people that you wouldn't have otherwise. And on some level, having that safety and comfort of being at home has helped people revealing parts of themselves. but it's not been without its challenges.
I'm sure.
I think for most people.
Yeah, I guess, however you look at it, it's been challenging.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people come to you perhaps when it's a little too late, or not too late, but it's a harder task 6-7 years into the issues and struggles potentially. When do you think, though, you really are too late for therapy? Like, what are the kind of signs from your point of view that maybe even the therapy might not kind of help you guys?
I mean, I never like to think it's too late.
Good, there's hope.
But there's always hope. And the very fact that people are making that brave step, which it is, it's a brave decision to make, and are putting the time into that, I always like to think there's hope. Obviously, for some couples, they have checked out, or there is a level of ambivalence where it's going through the therapy that helps them clarify that an ending is near for them.
Are you kind of qualified, or would you ever say, I think you two should call it? Like, is that within your remit? Would you ever tell a couple your view on their relationship like that?
That's for them.
Right.
Yeah,
You're going to be like, guys, it's enough. Go file your papers. You'd never say that.
No.
Good. That is hopeful. Why do you think people should do therapy before, like, as in people come at you when they feel broken and there's nothing else? Is there another way we can view couples therapy as a kind of lovely maintenance for relationships, because we all aren't equipped with necessarily all the tools for being a couple, because you're not born that way. So, what's the other angle to this?
So I am seeing a kind of growing number of couples that do come early on or come before they get married, thinking about how they maintain the health of their relationship, as opposed to coming when they're, in terms of sort of medicine, they're ill.
Yeah.
And that's always, I really enjoy working with those couples.
So it's like a prevention rather than cure.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so do you see a lot more of
I am seeing more of that. Younger couples, couples in their kind of 20s, 30s that are coming at the early stages of the relationships.
What do you think, finally, is the kind of the biggest impact on a relationship? Is it having children? Is it like, work stress? Is it a death in the family? Like, what do you see causes such an impact? Because maybe people know, this could throw a few spanners in our works, but we're equipped to deal with it.
I think everything you've mentioned are
fertility
hugely,
trouble.
They put a huge impact on relationship. I don't think you can sort of say one is more significant than the other, because our lives are so enmeshed and there's so much going on. But yeah, the move from a couple to a family with young children is a big shift.
So Claire, obviously we encourage people to talk, and as you said, like, this is a real investment in your relationship, but also, it has been proven, am I correct, that it actually is better for your actual health and well-being?
Yeah, so some research by the Gottman Institute has shown that people in happy marriages live longer. And, in many ways, if we spent some of the time that we spent on the gym or on ourselves, maintaining health in that way, on the relationship, we would see that there are health benefits.
Absolutely.
That's not to say that we stay in very unhappy marriages, but there is definitely a benefit to one's health in having a happy, well-functioning
and trying and investing in it, because I think, especially in the culture we're in at the moment, we're all kind of looking for that quick hit to feel good, be that shopping, be that alcohol, be that whatever it is you spend your money on, but actually invest in your relationship and yourself in a therapy way. The benefits could be absolutely exponential. Thank you so much, Claire. That was so interesting and dispelled so many myths about therapy. I hope viewers at home found it useful. For more information or clarity, please do visit Claire's website, www.clarefaulknertherapy.com. Next up, SheerLuxe's lifestyle editor, Heather Steele, is back with her pick of what is hot this September. Take a look.
Hello, my name's Heather Steele. I'm lifestyle editor at SheerLuxe, and this is my September hot list. So the book I'm reading at the moment is Richard Osman's latest, which is called The Man Who Died Twice, and it's basically the follow-up to his Thursday Murder Club book, which came out 2 years ago. This one is about a diamond heist. It involves the same crew solving a very different case, but with a lot of the same stories and backgrounds that was in the original book. So yeah, very much looking forward to getting properly stuck into this. It's just going to be one of those that you just read the whole thing in a weekend because you just love the characters and it's pacey and fun. So yeah, I think this will be on a lot of people's Christmas list this year. There are loads of really, really good new openings, especially in London. And one that I'd like to talk about now that I went to this week was called Mimi Mayfair, which has just opened in Mayfair, obviously. And it's basically from the same team behind Jamavar, which is an amazing Indian restaurant. And it's basically got this sort of concept of you've gone into Mimi's house and she lives in this very grand Georgian townhouse. So it's sort of Chinese, Singaporean, Hong Kong cuisine, and it's so delicious. The things that I recommend trying if you do go along, the Peking duck to share is amazing, and they come and just sort of prepare it at the table for you for a nice little bit of theatre. There's some wasabi prawns on the starter list, which were absolutely delightful. There were also some really amazing scallop noodles that we had as a side dish as well, and they do some really, really good cocktails, especially the chestnut sour, which is a little bit like an amaretto sour, which I really, really recommend. On the subject of restaurants and food and everything, I think one of the best places out there that are still doing the meal kits and delivery and have even sort of upped their game even recently with like developing new things is Dishoom, which is the Indian chain that's got loads of really, really good restaurants in London and beyond now as well. And they've just launched a feasting box. But the one that I am cooking this weekend is their new feast box, which comes, you know, as you'd expect, with loads of like lovely printed menus, and they've just really sort of given it real attention to detail. Also comes with this really sort of on-brand sort of, you know, tea towel, which you actually need to make the roti, so it's useful as well as good looking. But it's got loads of amazing curries. It's got this really lovely dal, which just comes, and honestly it's just amazing. They've also sent some really, really lovely spices to make some lovely sort of lamb kebabs. And then for pudding, they've also got meringue pieces, which you can sort of whip up with a nice sauce that they've provided as well. So yeah, they've really thought about everything that you might need so that you can just whip it up really quickly at home. And yeah, it all comes in a good compostable, good looking box as well. I'm still slowly but surely decorating the flat, and this new release from Phaidon is one of the most beautiful coffee table books I've seen in a while. So it's called The Atlas of Interior Design. It's so weighty, but it's this gorgeous blue and gold thing, and it basically shows you all sorts of people's houses from the 1940s through to today. And it's called an atlas because it really takes you through every single continent and shows you all sorts of different designs from around the world. Honestly, absolutely stunning, and it's people's real homes, and it's from Phaidon. And yeah, if you're in the mood for, you know, just looking at very, very beautiful interiors, then yeah, definitely have a look at this because it's absolutely gorgeous. The TV's always really good at this time of year, but one thing that I am really excited about, even though it hasn't quite got a release date yet, is Landscapers, which is coming onto HBO, Sky Atlantic at some stage this year. And it's got Olivia Colman in, who we all love, and David Thewlis as well. And it's a darkly comic four-parter, but it's based on the real life sort of crime story of Susan and Christopher Edwards, who were a couple from Mansfield in the 90s who essentially killed Susan's parents and buried them in the back garden. And nobody knew for a very, very long time that this had happened. And the Edwards were basically stealing money from the parents' account, the dead parents' account, and living a very strange but lavish lifestyle. And this is the story of what they did, why they did it, how they got away with it, and how they got caught. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you got a couple of ideas for things to see, do, and watch and eat. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
So that is it for today. Thank you so much to Jessica, Emma, Hind and Claire, and of course, Heather and Georgia. On the next show, we have some more fab content with fashion from Charlotte and Lou, a very exciting look at a new makeup brand from Rosie Huntington Whiteley, Rose Inc., a day in the life with SL's wellness editor, Tor, and an interview with the inspirational Emma Campbell, aka Limitless M, plus some awesome food inspo with Summer Pine of House Curious. You will not want to miss it. In the meantime, we would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, give us that thumbs up, and do tell your friends. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Goodbye.